Dun dun. Ooh. Hey, beer tubers, welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews with a new Moosehead product available. Not every day you can say that. Comes about maybe once or twice a year. This is the newest edition of Moosehead's Radler series. Yes, they actually discontinued, or at least in New Brunswick, they've discontinued lemonade. They still have the original grapefruit Radler, but they've introduced this new one. Seems like 2016 is the year of the raspberry. This time, it's Moosehead's Raspberry Radler. Ooh. Alright, so the ingredients list reads light beer, grape juice concentrate. Ooh, yeah, grape juice first. Citric acid, raspberry juice concentrate, strawberry juice concentrate, natural flavor, gum arabic, and natural and artificial flavor, beaver butt, and ester gum. Yeah, so a lot of weird ingredients. Effectively, what Moosehead's Radler is, and it's basically their Moose Light. It's 4% ABV even, spiked with fruit juices, and actually it's kind of one thing that's not traditional or like authentic on one of these Moosehead Radlers is that it's 4% ABV, whereas your typical like European style Radlers typically like 2 or 3%, because it literally is fruit juice mixed with beer, and that's where the style of Radler. I'm not going to go into details of what Radler means. It's a German cyclist thing. Look at my previous Radler reviews; you'll see me mention it almost every time. But yeah, Moosehead's had some quite reasonable success with the Radler series, and it kind of continues on the fruit kick that they started way back when the lime craze hit around 2009, I think. So the latest in the chain, and sure to be a hit. So let's crack it open and we'll see what I think here. I had a chance to have this at the St. John Beer Festival a couple weeks ago, and I picked this up, and I've had a couple of these already, so I kind of have a rough idea of what to expect. So let's pour it in. Now, one thing that's kind of impressive is that it's actually pink in color. Now, you can do that kind of thing with dyes, but if you ask people like, Chad, the albino rhino, he'll say, it's like, that might mean that they actually use real fruit juice, and it could. To be totally honest. Even the head's got this pink raspberry kind of hue. And it almost makes you think like, oh, it's pink grapefruit raspberry, or pink grapefruit Radler. But it's not, because you can definitely smell the raspberry on this thing a mile away. It smells good. It's kind of like this candy sweet raspberry. It smells like raspberry, the Swedish raspberries. The first time I ever had it, I described it as raspberry cotton candy. It is basically smells like candied raspberries, and I'm no doubt about it. That's probably the white grape juice that they mix this with. That's coming through, because it's kind of got that sweet, almost nondescript, slightly citrusy smell. With this one being a huge raspberry note riding on top of that. Well, it smells good, if not a little candy-ish. Looks good. Smells good. Let's put it down the hatch. Cheers. Yeah. So, in true Moosehead light style, it is light, especially in the front. It's almost airy. It's very carbonated. The back, there's a lot of sweetness that's lingering in the center of the throat. It's not cloying, and it actually is disappearing with the finish. And the finish is this nice tart raspberry. And it doesn't fill. Like, there's sweet in the back, lingering in the back, but it doesn't fill your entire mouth with sweet. It's actually quite refreshing. And the raspberry takes on this kind of tannic tartness, like the skin of the raspberry. Yeah, it wouldn't be the sweetest root beer I've ever had. Certainly a decent one. I mean, again, it's the same trick that they pulled before, and it's less tart than the lemon, and it's kind of reminiscent of the original grapefruit one, with except for in this case it's raspberry, and almost makes it seem like it's a little bit sour and a little less. I just called it really sweet, but it's a little less sweet than the original grapefruit Radler. It all depends on what you want to go for, but if you love the previous two generations, you're probably going to love this one. So what do I give that for a rating? I like it. It's the same kind of stuff that they've done before, and I guess it really rides on whether you like the flavor of raspberry or not. And I'm not really I don't really like raspberry jams, but I mean I like raspberry flavoring in certain things, and this is one of them. This is actually really good. And one of the things that I really like about this beer is that, given that smell, I was expecting like candy raspberry cooler, like Swedish berries or something. Almost akin to what like Bud Light's Raspberita, that stuff, where it's cloyingly sweet and it's not even beer anymore. And this is kind of pushing the boundary of whether it's really beer anymore as well. But it's pretty good. I'll give it a 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. It's a decent beer, and I actually really enjoy seeing these. Say what you want. I mean, Moosehead's kind of like a... Well, they're not very big in the grand scheme of things, but they are more of a macro... They brew products that are comparative to macro beers. And this definitely is one of them. It's a flavored beer cooler at this point, but it's... While you could call it not really beer... It's decent, and it's refreshing. It would be good on a hot summer day. So your mileage may vary. It depends whether you like raspberry or not. It depends whether you like the previous entries in the Radler series. But it's tasty. I would recommend trying it. So thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review of Moose Light's Radler, Raspberry Radler, 4% ABV. Talk to you folks later. Cheers.